Hi there, and happy International Women's Day. My name is Luna Ramirez, and joining me today is someone who needs no introduction, Candice Gazeski. Candice, thank you so much for joining us. For those who might not know, do you mind sharing what your role at BPI is?
Sure. As you said, I'm Candice. I'm the founder of BPI, and currently that is my role. So I took over the CEO role for quite a while, but have transitioned into the founder role and have another amazing woman, Denise Berg, who's COO and essentially overseeing the day to day, along with two other amazing women BCBAs, Michaela and Michelle, who are overseeing the clinical.
Such an amazing team that we have here at BPI. So, as I mentioned, it is International Women's Day, and we thought, what better way than to sit down with our amazing founder and learn about the journey that brought BPI to where we are today. So, my first question to you is, what brought you into the world of ABA?
Sure. So I kind of stumbled into the world of ABA, to be honest. I didn't go into it intentionally. I took a job while I was in college working with children with autism in their home. And that's where I really discovered ABA and fell in love with the families I was working with and the kids I was working with, and seeing the BCBAs coming in and able to help teach these families and children new things and new skills to better navigate their life. I was just in awe. And I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. So I was just lucky, and one day found, a random bulletin at community college, and I was like, oh, I'll try this out. So that's how I discovered ABA.
That's an amazing way to stumble into your whole future career. That's so awesome. And so I want to ask you then, what inspired you to start the journey to create BPI? What led you to start this awesome company?
Sure. It's hard to believe that, it wasn't all that long ago. But when I started BPI, there weren't really that many clinics or in-home based therapy places that do what we do today, and provide ABA services. So really, it was a matter of I taught special ed for a good number of years first, and then I decided I wanted to do more with families directly and wanted to start taking on some of my own clients. And there was really not a lot of options for me to go, apply for a job at. So I just decided to uh, be an individual practitioner and see clients myself. So I was driving, all over, and just working one-on-one with families and clients. And then that eventually grew and grew until I needed to hire another BCBA and open a clinic. And then here we are today.
Yeah, more than 10 years later, is where
Yes.
we are today. So all of that time that's passed, I'm sure you have so many amazing memories. But if you can pick one fond memory out from when you were first starting the company, do you mind sharing one?
From when I was first starting, I don't know if I have one. I have a lot. And some of them, it's not necessarily when I was first starting, but for example, I just went to visit a clinic, a couple of clinics yesterday, and some of the learners that had started with us years ago just recently graduated. So it's really seeing their progress over time, or remembering a child that maybe started with us when they were 2 and didn't have much language or many skills, and now seeing them at age 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and able to socialize with peers, able to get their needs and wants met through whatever form of communication they're using, and just seeing the progress they're making is really what brings me reinforcement, what makes me happy.
Yeah, BPI has basically grown up with so many learners. So it must be really exciting for you to get to see some of that growth. And so my final question for you, Candice, is what advice do you have for young women who are interested in being a part of the ABA world and making a change in their own community?
I would say one of the best things that I did was I found a couple really good mentors, and not necessarily just in the ABA field, but especially if you want to open your own business or start even just as an individual practitioner, there's lots of other things you need to understand and know, whether it's the insurance side, whether it's finances, etc. So finding somebody that has a lot of knowledge in those areas and really befriending them. And a lot of them were women. That I found too. There's people I could think of that were just amazing at marketing, and I just wanted to pick their brain. So I would go to lunch with them often and just learn and absorb as much as I could. So finding a mentor in the different areas that you're trying to grow in, I think would be my number one advice. And then my number two advice would be to read as much as you can as well.
Always keep learning. That's great advice. Well, Candice, I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit about the journey that you kind of went on to get here and bring BPI to what it is today. Thank you so much. And I want to remind families that BPI does currently have daytime availability at many of our regions. So if you want more information, go ahead and give us a call or check out our website at www.bpiaba.com. And once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us and wish you a happy International Women's Day.